side. Your words that
Hello my beautiful love goods, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're building a family house in the beautiful world of Granite Falls. I just was watching YouTube and I found like a couple of videos of just people that were hiking in like Sweden, Iceland, I can't remember which one of those countries, up in that general area, and so I just kind of got inspired to build a Nordic styled house. Now take that with a grain of salt. I am from America. I haven't been to that region, so I don't know from firsthand experience what these houses look like. I only know from things like Pinterest and stuff like that, so bear with me. I had to look up quite a bit of reference to understand this, but I hope that it is, you know, at least an, I guess, a loose representation of the houses up in that region. So yeah, it's a really nice house. I really had so much fun building it. I love the shape. It's really simple shape. It's got this like rectangular section that like breaks up this really generic basic shape of a house. Like if you were to like tell a kid to just like draw a house, they would do like that shape, you know, and that's kind of the idea of it. And then there's like that rectangular section. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that like it's really sleek and modern looking, but it's still kind of like homey at the same time, and signature to a lot of the Nordic styled houses. And when I say Nordic, I also am including like Scandinavian and stuff like that, I guess, at least I hope. You know what, let's do a quick fact check on myself. Let's look up the word Nordic definition really quickly, just so that I know exactly what it means, so that I am not using the word incorrectly. So basically, of or relating to the Germanic peoples of Northern Europe and especially of Scandinavia. Wow, could I read today? That would be great. But yeah, that, I guess you could say it's a Nordic house. Then Nordic, Scandinavian, whatever you want to call it. It honestly is kind of amazing. Now, I don't know if these houses have this many windows, to be honest. I just kind of went a little bit crazy on the windows, not gonna lie, but I couldn't help it. These windows are by Harry and Felixander. They did this little collaboration where they created a set called the Bathroom, and it's incredible. Definitely check it out. It is free on Harry's website right now, or is it her Tumblr? Yeah, it's for free right now, so go check it out, and it's amazing. It doesn't just have items for bathrooms either. You can use them for a number of different things. It's a very modern, classy set. It's just, ooh. And these windows are one of the things. Like, she has like a seamless window set, so you can make these really long windows. It's amazing. Love it so much. It's one of the, it's like one of those top tier, like god tier custom content packs out there. Like I can't begin to tell you. But anyway, if you want to check out the references that I use, or actually the reference that I used for this house, go to my Pinterest. It's pinterest.com/lukeyartist. I don't know why my like whole thing didn't change, but it's kind of weird. My username is Lukey Lupin, but it says Lukey Artist in the link. I don't know, but yeah, go check that out, because it was the last one I pinned to my modern home inspiration board. I'll actually be sure to tweet that out or leave a link in the description or something, just because I tend to forget to do that. So yell at me in the comments if I don't, because you know me, I probably will. But it's the last one that I pinned, and it's this really, it looks, I mean, I'm pretty sure I got it pretty on point. It's very much inspiration. I kind of took my own creative liberties with a lot of it, so it's, you know, that's kind of what you do with when you build, and sometimes you can't do it in The Sims 4, because sometimes you got to change some stuff. So yeah, it's even, oh, see, this is something I really want, is I can see on one side of the house there is this little skylight, and it's just like a tiny skylight. It's not like the whole glass roof. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do that, because I've seen people do it in The Sims 4 and they're kind of incredible. But I also added a greenhouse, as you can see, to this build. I think this filled up this little bit of space here really well, but also it honestly is so charming looking. Like, it's beautiful on the inside. Like, I used this I I don't know what you call it. It's just like a border thingy. It's like a really low-lying fence, but it's from Get to Work. And I used it to kind of create this kind of grid-like thing above everything else. And I just thought it would just kind of add a little bit of something so it didn't seem so open in there. And maybe like there's wires and sprinklers and stuff going through there. Not at the same time, I would hope not, but you know what I mean, right? And then I did a little outdoor eating area, and this flooring out here, I didn't use inside. I changed my mind on what flooring I would use, but this flooring right here that I'm using is by a Logical Simmer, and it's actually a recolor of the base game, kind of really cheap basic flooring, and he just added a few tones to it. And there's like a light gray, and then there's like this really pretty like light wood color. I didn't use it on the interior in hindsight. It would have looked just as good, but I did change what I used on the inside to something a little different, just something a little darker, because it was almost too bright, if you know what I mean. But on the outside, it looked great. It contrasted against that really dark, rich, you know, wood paneling in these windows really well. It just hit the spot. But I attempted to do a little play area here, but I didn't really put a lot of toys out here. I should have, in hindsight, done some more toys, but I just did like a little grassy spot here. I don't know why. I just wanted to break up this little section here. And I did use a bit of terrain manipulation to kind of create some like gentle steps up. As you can see, it's a little bit tricky. I'm gonna have to probably break that down in a in a real-time video just to kind of show you all how I do it. I'm pretty sure there's other creators that have done it, but this is just a little trick that I use just to kind of keep it from seeming so flat, you know, all the time. Because, you know, in The Sims 4, the terrain manipulation, if you go too far with it, it can look kind of out of place because the way the game is built. But I think that using terrain manipulation just very slightly and just very subtly throughout the build is really going to make it look a little bit more realistic and a little bit more, I don't know, just a little bit more like, you know, a real house. And I spent a very long time looking for a bush, and I just remembered that I needed to edit that out, and I didn't edit it out. But you know what, that's fine. We'll just talk and we'll just ramble, because, you know, I don't want to stop this voiceover because I don't really have a whole lot of time to do a voiceover today. So yeah, but I spent my time looking through the debug menu here, just browsing for different plants and landscaping and things. I don't know what I'm saying there, but I looked for this one tree here, this one that I just placed, the one that looks like it's from the base game, but it has different swatches on it, and it's from the debug menu. It's amazing. And it has this really dark swatch that it's like a dark green, and it looks like it fits perfectly in this. Like the normal tree that comes with the base game that you can just get out of the regular menu, it's kind of a really bright green, and while that does work in some places, I sometimes just want it to be dark so that it kind of mixes and matches with other things too. So I put a few around here and there, and yeah, I put lots of trees around this house. I don't normally do that in other worlds, but in Granite Falls, I feel like it just fits perfectly. I really like just using a lot of the ones from Debug, of course, because there's a lot of variety. There's a lot of like darker colors. And this, oh my goodness, are they aspen trees? Is that what they're called? Birch trees? I think they're aspen trees, but the ones that I just placed, those like white bark looking trees, there's some in the base game that have really bright leaves, but there's apparently one in the debug menu that comes with Get Together, and it is a little bit darker, and it blended in really nicely, and I was like, oh gosh, this is screaming to me, like it just fits perfectly here. So yeah, I just had to place them. And you can see me adding a few little tricks here. Now the roofing here made it to be, that sounded weird, but it made it out that a lot of these rooms would be kind of dark and not have a lot of windows. So what I did was I added sections of glass roofs so that I could put windows so that natural light could come in. It's a little bit of a trick that I use. You can add the windows anyway and it'll work just fine, but it doesn't visually look good. So I make those glass roof pieces there, and it just kind of adds a little bit of light. And yeah, you can add a floor onto the glass roof section so that there is no light going down, but that's optional. You can leave it. But yeah, and I also used the windows by a logical simmer from his tiny living add-on set. It has a really nice little set of windows. They're really modern and just simple, but they are so useful because sometimes you don't want like a floor to ceiling window, and you don't want it to be like a seamless window. You want it to just be a simple window. These are perfect for that. It's a perfect little in between. And boy, did I spend a lot of time. I spent so much time trying to figure out which countertop I was going to use, and I left it all in because I want you all to see the struggle. Because guess what? Guess which ones I ended up using? These first ones that I got out. But I did change them to a solid white instead. I give myself that. But I went through so many different versions of so many different CC and non-CC ones. I even had to stop recording for a bit and look through all of them and just figure it out, because I went on Pinterest for pretty much every room in this house. I went on Pinterest and just typed in Nordic kitchen or Nordic living room, and I just kind of did that over and over. And I kept looking at several different references on Pinterest for the kitchen, and I couldn't find anything that just was like speaking to me, but I found a lot of different little points where like there's like one thing in one picture and one thing in another picture, and it's just, I kept seeing a million things and I kept changing my mind. And in hindsight, a lot of these would have looked nice, but I am glad I went with the cabinets that I started out with. They're actually from the Logical Simmer, and they are the SimKia Furnishings like countertops. They're basically just IKEA stuff, and it's super simple, super clean, super sleek, and just very basic. And I really love them. And yeah, they just work in every build. They just work in every single build. And yeah, I think I'm falling in love with building in this particular style right now. I love modern, but with a hint of rustic and just like a little bit of that kind of Scandinavian, Nordic kind of vibe. I've always loved that anyway. I remember seeing it like on like TV shows like Tiny House Tours and like HGTV and stuff like that. Like I see all that stuff and I'm just like, ugh, I want that. I want my house to be that. And I will say this house right now that I'm building, I kind of consider it a dream house. Not gonna lie. Like if I was, ooh, I need to slow down. If I was to have a full on like house, like if that was my choice, if I could do that, and if I wanted to have like a full on house, you know what I mean? Like a house. This would be it. This would kind of be it, like completely. In hindsight, I would rather prefer, what am I saying? I would much rather live in a tiny house or something, just like a small cottage or something like that. Because I, again, don't want to have a big footprint, like a carbon footprint or anything. But also, you know, it's kind of expensive to have a house this big. But I don't know, to each their own, I guess. I do think that there is a lot of good things about living in this house this big. Big is relatively speaking, because, you know, to some people this might be big, but to others it might be small. It depends on where you're from and what, you know, you're from and all that stuff. You know, this is a pretty big house for me, so yeah. But it's really pretty, and I admire it a lot, and it's just. But yeah, I used Illogical Simmer's content, Harry's content as well, and then I did use Peacemaker, of course. I couldn't do this build without Peacemaker, I don't think. I just wanted some like really simple furniture that just like fit the bill, and this was it. These couches right here, they're really nice. I love this swatch in particular. It's just so perfect. It's gray and it's got some texture to it. It might be a little bit more leaning more towards the alpha side of custom content, but you know what? That's fine. I don't really mind, as long as it looks nice and it doesn't look uncanny, if you know what I mean. Like there is some alpha CC out there where people where the creators aren't really bothered with making sure that it's, I don't know, I can't really say like exactly what I'm saying or what I'm thinking, but basically they'll make CC and it almost looks too real, like it's almost too far past that limit, and then it kind of sticks out really badly. Not saying it doesn't look bad necessarily, it doesn't, it's just it doesn't really fit the vibe of The Sims. Peacemaker's content is definitely kind of a mix, I would say. Like it's mostly Maxis Match, especially his newer content I think is more Maxis Match than anything, but it definitely has like some alpha elements in there as well. And when I say alpha, if you all don't know the difference between Maxis Match and alpha, essentially Maxis Match is custom content that is made for The Sims 4 that is made in the same style as The Sims 4, or at least it is close to the style of The Sims 4, because you know every creator has a different style. But alpha CC is CC that is more realistic, and it's supposed to be, it almost feels like it fits more in with The Sims 3. I guess that's why they call it alpha. But there is some custom content creators out there that kind of bridge that gap a little bit. Peacemaker's kind of there. He's a little closer to Maxis Match, I would say. There's also Maxims, who is a little bit closer to alpha than Maxis Match, but his content does work kind of for both, I would say. At least a good majority. There is some items that are a little bit more than Maxis Match. Like this table, for example, it's a little bit more alpha than Peacemaker's content, I would say. But oh, it's such a nice table. I love the kitchen table that I used so much. It's just so nice. It's got that like tablecloth, but it doesn't cover it completely, so you still see that like rustic wood table. It's just, oh, oh my gosh, I kind of channeled my inner dream house when I built this. I would definitely have more greenery and more green color throughout the house. Like, I feel like if I was to pick like an accent wall, like color wise, I would go with like a dark green, and I would have more plants, and you know, that tiling there would probably be an exposed brick or stone, not necessarily a subway tiling. Someone actually said that the subway tiling reminded them too much of public transport for them, because where they live, they take the public transport a lot, and they said that they weren't too fond of it being in kitchens. And I'm like, I understand that, but where I'm from, we don't have public transport very much here in Kentucky. We probably have buses maybe in the bigger cities, and maybe taxis. I don't know. I've never had a taxi. I've never seen one. No joke, no lie, I've never seen one in real life, because we don't have them here in rural Kentucky. I mean, we have like these cabs that are like, I guess they're for more like medical people, like for medical reasons, like people who can't travel because they need to, yeah, like shuttles almost. But yeah, we don't really have anything like that where I'm from, so you know, I've never really experienced that. It's really cool being on YouTube though, because you get to interact with people from a lot of different places, and you kind of learn things and stuff. It's just all cool. It's so cool. But here's another thing that I was talking about with the Maxis CC. These desks that I'm pulling out that are by Maxims, it's MXIMS. They are a little bit more alpha because of the texture on them, but I absolutely love these desks because I want one in real life, let's be honest. It's so nice. And I think this texture, like wood, it's still alpha, but it does work really nicely with everything. I feel like it's a nice level. So I used a lot of Maxim stuff in this build, to be honest. A lot of, because he, you know, that creator has a lot of like IKEA inspired things, and obviously I'm building a Nordic kind of Scandinavian house, so of course I'm gonna lead more towards stuff that is like more IKEA, because that's the homeland for IKEA. So it's actually kind of pure, because I watch a YouTuber, and I am like a huge fan of her. I love her content. Like every video that she uploads, I'm watching it the second she uploads. She's amazing. It's Cheyenne Barton. I love her art. She's an artist, but I just love her videos too, because she's just like a really cool person, and she just I don't know, her videos are calming, and they're such a vibe, you know. So and she is, I think she is Swedish, or at least she has like her mother is Swedish. I know that because her mother's been in her vlogs before, and she like speaks fluent Swedish, and she's like had a video where she went back to Sweden for a while, or not back to Sweden, but she went to Sweden as like for a family vacation or something. It was just beautiful, and I don't know, it vibes because I saw like the places they were at, like the houses they were in that vlog, and I was like, oh my god, I just want to live there. It's just so charming. It wasn't exactly what we see Scandinavian design as being, because it's obviously varied everywhere, like in every town, every region, like it's always going to be different, but it had like a atmosphere that just was like so bright but cozy, and you know, clean but friendly, and it's just I just loved it so much. And I don't know, I vibe with it a lot, and it's kind of my favorite build style to do. I see other builders do it, and I'm like, oh my god, I love it. And then, yeah, custom content creators thrive, I think, with that style too, because it fits really well in The Sims 4, in my opinion. It just has like a clean, simplistic style that blends really well. So yeah, I had to go on that little bit of a ramble. I don't know, I've been trying not to, you know, plan out my voiceovers as much anymore. I've just been trying to just, you know, just kind of just vibe, as the children say these days, vibe. I literally have associates at work that say, I'm just vibing. I'm just like, what the heck? This is just, I don't understand this language, this Gen Z language. Apparently, apparently I'm considered Gen Z for some people, and some people I'm like a millennial. It doesn't really bother me either or, but you know, it's just like, you know, it's funny just to see like the generational divide sometimes, because I'm just like, wait, what are these children saying? Like, what does this mean? Can you explain this to me? Like, there was this time where, because I work in a clothing store, if you didn't know, and we make outfits for like mannequins and stuff. We have like regular mannequins that are like on the sales floor. We have our window ones. We have our busts that kind of go like up in like shelves in the walls, as well as on tables. But then we also have these kind of like half mannequins that hang on the that hang on the fitting room doors. Well, at least we have girl ones. We have like female half mannequins, but we don't really have any for men, so we just hang up like an outfit on the guys' doors. They're all the same, like all fitting rooms are the same, like they're unisex of course in our store, but we basically alternate. So like one door has a girl outfit, the other door has a guy outfit, and so on and so forth. But somebody made a outfit for one of the guy doors, and they were like, oh my god, that's so bubby. And I just looked at them, I'm like, I have no idea what that means. What? Excuse me. What is bubby? I don't get it. They're just like, you know, bubby. And I'm just like, I can't read this. What does this mean? And they were just like, yeah, bubby means like kind of like a redneck or like something like that. And I'm like, why can't you just say that? I don't know. I guess it's just because in Kentucky we know that and understand that so well, but then in other places, bubby is the term for it. It's just so weird. I let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But there's like so many things, like drip. What is drip? What does this drip mean? Like, I don't understand that. And then you know, there's also what is another word that I've heard kids say a lot? Like, oh, that's it, like cap. Like, I don't even know what that means. That is so beyond me. Cap? What, like, cap as a kneecap? What? I don't know. I can't. Anyway, I'm not that old, you all. I really am not. I am, you know, relatively young in comparison to a lot of people in my life. I am 24 years old. I'm gonna be 25 in August. That's not, like, that's nothing. But how am I so far beyond this? I don't know. It's just a thing with school, I guess. It just, things like that spread around schools, and then it gets online, and then it kind of stays within specific generations. I don't know. But anyway, speaking of kids, here's a kid's bedroom. Haha, there's a good little transition there. Not planned at all, really, genuinely not. But yeah, this kid's room, I had to look up references on Pinterest for these rooms because I was really not sure about the bedrooms as much. I kind of didn't have as clear of references that were really speaking to me with the content that I have in The Sims 4, so I just kind of made it work. The little kid's bedroom is really cute. I really like the wallpaper. I use this wallpaper in all the bedrooms because it just kind of fit with the area that I have this have this house in. So, and plus this wallpaper here that I'm using right now, this kind of woodlandy wallpaper, it's by Peacemaker, and honestly it kind of fits perfect in this style, right? I mean, I don't know, it just works for me. And I, you know, made sure that there is like a kid's bedroom, and then this is more like a teen's bedroom. They have like a MacBook, and you know, they've got their own like thing. I mean, it could be a young adult as well, easily, but. And that TV there, actually, on that dresser, that is from the Tiny Living add-on set, if you didn't know. Basically, Illogical Simmer made an add-on set of the Tiny Living stuff pack and added a bunch of new things. He separated a lot of things, too. So he separated the TV, and then he has, like, different stands and different nightstands and tables and dressers and all sorts of stuff. He separated the love seat thingy from the Murphy bed, so we can use that. And he also made a matching chair, which, ooh, it's Chef's Kiss. It's amazing. I use it in my last build. If you have seen the asymmetrical micro house, I used it in those builds, or in that build. Really love it. But anyway, this is the last room of the house. It is the upstairs bedroom, or bathroom, sorry. I actually didn't go overboard with bathrooms in this house. There's only one per floor, which is, you know, new to me. I usually do like a master suite, but I was like, this is just a family house. There doesn't need to be a fancy upstairs master suite. I'm just doing a simple bathroom, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It's just run of the mill. It's very clean and modern. It's not run of the mill by any means, but it's just a bathroom, you know, it's not crazy. But anyway, I think that is pretty much it for this build. I can't believe I got through 25 minutes of talking straight without losing steam. It's been a while since I've done that. But really quickly, I just want to let you all know the screenshots that are coming. I am using reshade, of course. I have my own preset of reshade that I'm still fine-tuning. I'm never happy with it. Like, I'll like it for one video and then I won't like it for the next. So bear with me. I want to release it. It's just I change my mind constantly, but yeah, it's really nice. It's a little bit more, like, I will say this, it makes the wood tones look a lot more red and pink, but it's beautiful. I don't care. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Right now, how you're seeing it, it looks right, and then here it looks a little bit more pink. I think it's just the lighting in combination with the presets and stuff that I was using and settings. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the build. I hope you all are having a great day. Be sure to check out the custom content creators in the description down below. That is Maxims, Illogical Samurai, Harry, Peacemaker, and Little Dika, and there's probably a few others there that I'll be sure to leave links to in the description down below. But anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Be sure to wash your hands. Be sure to drink plenty of water. Don't just eat Funyuns. Eat something healthy. Eat some apples for me because I can't eat them anymore. I miss them so much. But anyway, I love you all so very much. And yeah, thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird and beware of the nargles.
You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, you, so slow. Hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other.